I was driving home late one night. It was about 1 a.m. in the morning. I made the turn onto the street which I lived, anticipating going home and getting snug into bed for a good night's sleep. It was overcast that night and very dark. I was a little ways down my street when I noticed a car turning on its headlights, just as it was about to make a turn onto the street. The lights went on only for a moment, and then shut off once again. It struck me as strange at the time, and it took me a couple of seconds to process it. I pulled into my driveway, which was a circular driveway, and I stopped the car by my front door. My husband's car was in the garage. Something deep inside me told me not to get out of the car. I then realized that the car which turned on its lights must have been following me, with his lights off. He turned them on only for a moment so he could see where to turn because it was so dark. A thought crossed my mind that I was just being silly, and I should get out of the car and just go inside. The front door was only 15 feet or so away. I was very tired, and I wanted to just go in and get to bed so badly, but the nagging voice inside me was telling me to not get out of the car. I did not see or hear the other car at all. After a small debate with myself, I thankfully decided to err on the side of caution, and chose to make a quick drive around the neighborhood before entering the house. As I backed up to pull out of my drive, my headlights shone on the garage door. I was shocked to see the figure of a man wearing a dark tracksuit press up against the door. He was hiding and standing there, just waiting for me to get out of the car. He would have surely got me before I could have made it inside. I backed out of the drive and drove around the block. The man's car was at the end of a neighbor's driveway, backed in. He made it to my house on foot by the time I was ready to get out of the car. When I drove by again, the car was gone. Thank God the neighbors across the street on the other side were just coming home as well. I told them what had happened, and they made sure I got into the house safely. I did report the incident to the police, but I never heard anything else from them. A few years ago, I was home alone at nighttime. I was watching TV in the living room when I heard the doorbell ring. Whenever I hear the doorbell ring, especially when I'm home alone, I am cautious to answer it. I walk up to the peephole without turning on the porch light, so they don't know if anyone is actually home or not, and I look through. It's really dark, but I can see a small figure, more like a black blob. I don't know its definite shape, and it had to be around 3 to 4 feet tall, doing some kind of a dancing motion, dipping down and oscillating its arms outward. Think of a person moving their arms like wings gracefully. It was dark outside, but this figure was more opaque, so I could see this going on. After a few seconds, I stopped looking through the peephole because it was too freaky to look at. I regained some courage and looked back through, and whatever it was gone. To this day, I still don't know what that was, and I get freaked out just thinking about it. We were camping once, driving through some city. My dad was driving, my mom on the passenger seat, and I was kneeling behind them, leaning on the boot that separated the truck from the camper. It was evening, not full dark. We weren't really talking, and my mom was looking out her window when she screams, "Oh God, oh my God, Gene, do you see it?" My dad says, "Yeah, I do. I'm going to slow down and let them by." He slowed, and the car on the right passed us. I couldn't see inside, but their window was down, and the arm hanging out of the window looked to be that of someone impossibly thin. I asked my mom what she saw, and she said it was nothing. My dad backed her up. Years later, I asked them again about it. My mom said it was a skeleton. It was no mask, because you could see through the jaws. It had a tongue and eyes. It was death. My dad backed her up at the time, but years later, after my mom was dead, He recanted, saying it had to have been a mask because nothing could survive like that.